So today we're talking about factoring quadratic trinomials again, and today a is not going to be equal to 1, but the process is going to be exactly the same. It's just a little more challenging to see the patterns. Let's get started. Step is always going to be to create our mod table by tensing it and multiplying a times c. So this is a, this is c, 2 times 3 is 6. So we need two numbers that multiply to 6. But add up to this middle term here, 5. And I'm just going to start going through the factors of 6. 1 plus 6 is 7. 2 times 3 is 6. And 2 plus 3 is 5. So we've found them. These are our factors. We're going to take those factors to uncombine like terms. Okay, so we're going to take this 5 and split it into 2x and 3x. First goes first, 2x squared. Last goes last. Uncombine like terms along the diagonal. It doesn't matter which box that you put them in. We're going to go through the columns and look and see what these have in common. 2x squared is 2x times x. And 2x is 2 times x. They each have a 2x, so I can take that out here. These both have a plus 3 in common. So this is one of our factors. I'm going to go ahead and write that over here. And I'm going to start going through rows now. 2x squared and 3x, the only thing they have in common is an x. 2x and 3, if I write down those factors, 1 times 2 times x, 3 is prime, 1 times 3. The only thing they have in common is this positive 1. And this is our other factor, times x plus 1. So 2x squared plus 5x plus 3 in factored form is this. And of course, we can check this using Desmos. Does the graph of the factored form cover the graph of the original? And it does. Let's try another one. Here, c is negative, so we need to be careful when we tent it. We are multiplying 6 times negative 6. 6 times negative 6, a times c is equal to negative 36. And our middle term is 5. So I need two numbers that multiply to negative 36 but add up to 5. I'm going to start with negative 1 and positive 36. Negative 3 and 12. It's positive 9, getting closer. Negative 4 times 9 is negative 36, but negative 4 plus 9 is positive 5, and we have found our factors. So we're going to use these to uncombine like terms along the diagonal. And it may be useful for you to write those factors down. 6x squared, prime factors, 2 times 3 times x times x. 9x is 3 times x. They both have a 3x. They both have a 3x. So what can I take out of this column? 3x. What about negative? So since this is negative here, we're going to take that negative sign with it. All right, let's look at 4x. 4x is 2 times x. 6 is 2 times 3. What do they both have in common? this 2. So we're going to subtract 2. And this is our first factor here. And we've already written these down, so I'm just going to go ahead and take these out this way. Now we're looking at what these two have in common. And I see both have a 2 and both have an x. So out of this row, I can take out a 2x. Now I'm going to look down here at this row. 9x and 6 both have a 3 in common. Plus 3, because this is positive, this 9 is positive, and that's closest to that. The other factor here is 2x plus 3. And we can check this using Desmos. Let's give it a try. Squared plus 5x minus 6 in factored form. 3x minus 2 times 2x plus 3, it is. A little faster. Tent it, we have to take this negative with it. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15, and our middle term is negative 2. So we're looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 15 and add to negative 2. Negative 1 and 15. Negative 3 and 5. Negative 5 and positive 3. Found them. Here they are. Let's use these to uncombine like terms. First goes first, last goes last. Uncombine like terms along the diagonal. If you need to write out all the factors, you can. 3 times x, 3x is 3 times x, negative 5x, negative 1 times 5 times x, and negative 5, negative 1 times 5. Out of the columns, these only have an x in common. These only have a 1. It's going to be positive because the positive sign is closest to this side. Out of the rows, 3x minus 5. I'm taking the negative sign from here because it's closest to this side. So factored form, x plus 1 times 3x minus 5. And we can check this in Desmos. Last one, I'm going to tent it. 10 times 3, 10 times 3 is equal to 30. 10 times 3 is equal to 30. And my middle term is negative 17. So I need two numbers that multiply to 30, but add to negative 17. And you may quickly notice that in order to do that, both numbers are going to need to be negative. So I'm going to switch over to, how about negative 1, negative 30? That's negative 31, negative 2, negative 15 is negative 17. And we have found the numbers that we're going to split the middle term into. So let's uncombine like terms. First goes first. Last goes last. Uncombine like terms along the diagonal. If I go through this row, and if I need to, I can write these out. I find that these both have a 5x in common, and these will only have a negative 1. I'm going to take the negative sign here because it's closest to this edge. So one factor is 5x minus 1. These have a 2x in common. And these have a -3. I'm taking the negative sign because it's closest to this edge. The other factor is 2x minus 3. And we can check this using Desmos. And they are equivalent. Additionally, you can check it algebraically by multiplying them back out, putting them back in the box. I hope this was helpful, and thanks for watching.